What are the right things to say to someone you love who is contemplating suicide? How do you help a family member who is severely depressed? How do you respond to a text from your best friend telling you their father just died? Do you give the traditional response? I'm so sorry, my condolences, maybe add a sad face emoji, or maybe you say that you're praying for them because saying it to people is comforting, even if you forget to pray. You know, knowing the right words to say to someone who is hurting can save a life. I reflect on these critical examples of providing loved ones with emotional support and realize I have been winging it my entire life. Growing up, I wasn't taught to unload my feelings or cry in public, and I certainly wasn't shown how to support those who do. I wasn't told that sometimes life will deal your loved ones some really bad cards, and they might ask for help. And if they do, you might have to step in and help them finish the game. Today, instead of trying to keep it together, I'm more interested in investing in internal and external peace. Internal peace happens when we do the work on ourselves to heal and prioritize our needs. It's the result of a very popular modern day practice you all know as self-care. But external peace happens when we practice community care. It's when we create safe space for people to be authentic. It's when we create space for others to show up as they are, sad, incomplete, different, maybe struggling with disability. And it's a place where we can ask for help and be surrounded by people who are ready and willing to support us. So some of you are wondering, how do we cultivate this community care, and what are the answers to the questions I asked? I believe it starts with honesty. You see, at home we learn our first language, and at school we learn interpersonal communication. The very first lesson we're shown in almost every language is how to greet each other. It starts with the commonly used yet loaded question, how are you? ¿Cómo estás? Ni hao ma. And the typical response is good, fine, or okay. We have been practicing this response for most of our lives, and we say it so effortlessly that we can even pair it with a smile when our answer is dishonest. We are experts at asking and answering the day's most common question, and we've been programmed to greet each other without going deep. In English, I wasn't taught to stop and think about the question before responding, and I definitely wasn't taught how to translate unwanted feelings into other languages, not even after 7 years of studying honors Spanish. So I find when my answer is not good, I typically say okay, and I say okay because I'd rather say that than bad. But why are we still teaching our children to use one-word responses to sum up a wide range of emotion? Someone asking how are you should be an opportunity to release. And at this point in my life, I need more words. At the very least, I want to know what to say to someone when I'm not in the mood to turn my camera on in a Zoom meeting, and I want to know how to ask for help when I'm feeling overwhelmed. I am the author and co-founder of an organization that provides aid to youth in foster care and homeless shelters. At Precious Dreams Foundation, we serve children that have experienced a significant amount of trauma. Some of these kids were illegally transported to the United States by coyotes, and they've witnessed murder, violence, or rape along the way. Children who have witnessed all of this before the age of 10. I also work with those who get removed from their home because of unfit or absent parents. All across America, these children or those living in homeless shelters are often overlooked. In order to help them, we teach ways to self-comfort. We show them how to heal when no one is helping. And for anyone who has ever felt alone, like myself or the children of Precious Dreams, we've learned to self-comfort as a survival tactic. But I can speak for myself and all of them when I say it's tiring. It's tiring having to feel like you are your only support system and no one is going to be there if you fall. What are we doing wrong that would allow so many people and our most vulnerable children to feel so alone? Every single human has the ability to develop empathy, but many solely invest in internal peace and they leave the community work up to the professionals, mainly because they weren't shown how easy it is to support others. You don't have to donate a bunch of money or give time. You can make a difference by putting an end to the daily practice of insincere verbiage. Insincere verbiage is used to conceal our true expression, and we use it every day. It's using an emoji when we're unable to find our words. It's ghosting someone to avoid confrontation. It's using LOL when we're not really laughing, and it's saying good when we're terrible. At Precious Dreams Foundation, we teach children to practice being honest about their issues, giant or minute, big or small, because tackling difficult conversations strengthens our bond with them, and it saves lives. My 53-year-old Uncle Derek recently signed up to be a suicide prevention hotline volunteer. I was curious, so I did some research to learn about the requirements, and the certification training website said the following: volunteering can help you become a better listener to family and friends, increase your self-confidence, learn how to be a compassionate listener, become part of a community, and bring a sense of purpose to your life. Wow, what a bundle. Although some of us would have no interest in being a suicide prevention hotline volunteer, who wouldn't see the value in this course? $35, and you'll learn how to potentially save a life, find purpose, and become part of a community. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for college-age youth and teenagers. Shouldn't suicide prevention, social emotional learning, and tough conversations be a priority? We're all navigating this advanced yet divided world, and we still don't know the healthiest ways to communicate. Gary Chapman uses the vivid metaphor for words as being either bullets or seeds. Bullets hurt people and they take life, while seeds give life to all things. So if we use our words like seeds, there's opportunity for growth and transformation and rebuilding. Studies have shown that we're seeking mental health support now more than ever, but many still face barriers in receiving support, so they naturally turn to their loved ones, friends, or complete strangers for an ear. As humans and first responders, it is our responsibility to help each other. We cannot leave our issues solely up to therapists, counselors, and hairstylists anymore. We must learn how to make our family members feel comfortable talking to us on our own couch, at the kitchen table, in our own home. We must create the space for our loved ones to be honest and vulnerable without judgment. And there's so many myths about having these types of conversations. One myth is that you have to give advice or find a solution. You don't. Sometimes people just want to vent and know that you're listening. One time I opened up to a close friend and told him that I've struggled with ADHD for most of my life. His immediate response was, "That's normal. Everybody has ADHD. It's not a thing." While I'm sure his intention was to console, in that moment, I wanted him to understand that having ADHD actually makes my life harder. I needed him to just listen, just like you're all listening right now. Another myth is that speaking about self-harm will lead to unhealthy outcomes. It won't. Asking about suicidal thoughts or feelings won't push someone into doing something self-destructive. So don't be afraid to bring it up. Offering an opportunity to express suicidal thoughts is a great thing. So check in with your loved ones. And I'd like to propose some challenges. Schools. It's time to require peer mediation groups so more students can feel supported and have their feelings validated. During the 2017-18 school year, 6 Harriman High School students died from suicide in 1 year. And as a result, HHS students took action and formed support systems to prevent their peers from feeling alone. While I commend their actions, we can't risk this being the reality at more schools. I'd also like to propose for licensed therapists to lead school orientations and equip students to effectively handle moments of crisis. For the parents, please talk to your children about unwanted feelings. And if you don't know how, use this opportunity to grow. Tap into the many free and readily available resources online. And for our elected officials, it's time to respect one another, find common ground, and invest in these efforts. Provide the funding for organizations like Precious Dreams, educational institutes, and mental health leaders to normalize this everyday support. We need to evolve into humans that wake up each day using all the words that give us opportunity for growth, transformation, and rebuilding. There are over 170,000 words in the English dictionary, and as advanced as this world may seem with AI assistance, new wave nuclear power, and smart cars, we are still using the same common ways to greet each other. It might cost $35 to take the suicide prevention course, but using sincere verbiage to have difficult conversations is the easiest way to improve mental health, reduce suicide, reduce stress, anxiety, mend broken relationships, and save a life. And it's available to all of you at the very low cost of being brave. Being brave enough to say, I really struggled to get out of bed this morning. Being brave enough to find responses and words that resonate more deeply than good, fine, and okay. Being brave enough to start Zoom meetings with, hey guys, I'm not feeling my best today, but I wanted to be present. If words are seeds, let's start planting early and show our children how to grow communication that is truthful, courageous, and that matters. And let's start practicing how to have real conversations. So my final challenge is for you. The next time you ask someone, how are you? No matter their response, challenge them. Challenge them with a basic conversation extender. I want you all to ask, how are you? Really?